This morning I was thinking about the Roman Empire, and specifically I was thinking about how for entertainment today I can go to Disney Plus and watch Mickey do something, and I could spend 5 minutes to an hour to I could spend an entire weekend laying in my bed and or lying in my bed rather, and just consuming copious hours and hours of uh, of animated or non-animated content. The Romans didn't have this, but they did have a society that valued rhetoric and valued the ability for people, individuals, normal people like you and me, to be able to speak very articulately, very eloquently around certain subjects or topics. And not only was it like a form of entertainment, it was also a skill that was cherished and meant to be practiced uh, and mastered. And one of the things I've enjoyed the more I've learned about certain types of Stoicism, specifically the one that Marcus Aurelius pursued, there was almost this countercultural approach to to rhetoric, and the way he pursued Stoicism, the way he pursued speaking plainly, clearly, and accessibly, rather than with all of this extra fluff and prettiness and pampering. And I've noticed in my own life that part of my ego, part of my identity, it's important to me. It's always been important. And I've noticed this in school, I've noticed this in friendships and relationships, I've noticed this in the professional landscape. I care about what people think about me. Specifically, I care about people thinking that I'm smart or that I'm intelligent. And so one of the ways that I try to maintain uh, this perception or manage this perception people have of me is I try to use big words and try to sound smart, um, or I just try to use complex vocabulary, or end up saying a lot of extra words, whether like vocally in a conversation, or even I've noticed like some of the videos I've been making lately have a lot of it's almost like I'm trying to, I think I want to use, it's like when you play Scrabble, or it's like when you play Bananagrams, if you ever play these word type games where you have an idea of a word that you want to use, to play on the board, and you almost make like worse strategic decisions in the game, because you've fixated and you've created this like attachment to trying to say this thing or use this word in the case of Scrabble or Bananagrams. And with speaking, I think I do the same thing, where I want to sound smart because I want people to think I'm smart, and so then I try to sound smart in how I use language, and then I go look for like really nice words or really long fancy words, and I try to use them. But it's almost like these are kind of islands in this vast sea of just communication, and I'm trying to like get to the island and get to the island and get to the island, and it's like a um panicked splashing of just weird, uh it's like a someone who's like basically drowning, trying to desperately get to the next island of like really cool fancy word. um I don't know if that's a good analogy or not. all I'm trying to say here is, yeah, I think it's probably better for myself, like in my personal life, in my professional life, in my relationships, if I pursue an approach to communicating, whether that's speaking, whether that's making a YouTube video like this, whether that's writing. I think it's probably better or more useful to the listeners and to the other people of which the communication is aimed at if I pursue plain, simple, accessible speech rather than potentially misleading or overly complicated and unenjoyable and maybe unclear language as a result of trying to sound smart just to make my ego feel good about itself. That's all. Thanks for watching.